and Payaka, Manakal and then Gosaka.
Once upon a time, in rural St. Anne's Parish, on the sunny island of Jamaica, a little boy named Ivan was born. He was cared for by his loving grandmother after his mother traveled to the big city Kingston to find work. Time passed and Ivan's grandmother grew old. When she died, she left most of her money for a big funeral, but also left a little for Ivan and his mother. Ivan decided to go to Kingston to tell his mother the news. After a long bus ride filled with adventure, Ivan arrived in the bustling heart of Kingston.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. But you must try, try and try, try and try.
Ivan was shocked and confused by the crowds and the noise, but he soon met up with a friendly fellow who offered to carry Ivan's bags on his street cart for 50c. Ivan set off with him. Presently, the two new friends came across a fellow whom the street vendor said owed him money. Promising him half of it, he sent Ivan to collect the money. But as soon as Ivan began arguing with the stranger, the vendor and cart ran off, stealing all of Ivan's possessions. Ivan breaks the news to his mother that grandma has died. Mother asks what became of her money. Ivan explains most of it went on the funeral. His mother warns him that he should go back to the country. City life is hard. But Ivan becomes angry. He will be a big singing star.
Why something like that? Why something like that about me?
So his mother gives him the address of a man who may be able to help him. Ivan is skeptical, but takes it. As he leaves his mother's house, he comes across some hip-looking dudes playing dominoes. They tease him for being from the country. Desperate to impress, he asks what is showing at the cinema and suggests they come with him. The film they go to see is a spaghetti western, Django. The images in the film and the reaction of the men around him has a profound effect on Ivan, especially when he hears an audience member call out, "Shut your mouth. You think the hero can't die until the last reel?"
Shut your mouth. You think the hero can't die until the last reel?
Ivan's new friends take him to an amusement arcade. There, in a back room, is a card game. "Come on, try beginner's luck," says his new friend. But very quickly, Ivan loses all his money. Ivan woke the next morning sleeping in a bus shelter. All his money gone. He has even lost his shoes. Hungry and confused, he began to walk the streets looking for work. Ivan walked here and there all day in the blazing sun, but every employer turned him away, mocking his country accent and shoelessness. At the end of the day, he found himself in the yard of a rich woman who had no work for him. He begged her for 10 cents. The woman mocked him.
"What's the matter with you young, healthy boys? All you know to do is beg, beg, beg. That's all you can do, just beg?"
I've been trying a long time, still I can't make it. Everything I try to do seems to go wrong.
Hungry, exhausted, and fearing another night on the streets, Ivan was desperate. But then he remembered the note that his mother had given him. Reluctantly, Ivan set off to see the preacher.
Don't you know it was wrong to cheat the trying man? Don't you know it was wrong?
We jump forward a short period. Ivan has been taken in by preacher and employed as a handyman. He's good with his hands and with fixing things. But Ivan is troubled by Preacher's dominating presence and his insistence on Ivan becoming a truer Christian. Ivan has little time for religiosity. Ivan notices a beautiful young girl named Elsa. He is very interested in her. She says he might date her if he proves he is a Christian and not a rude boy. Ivan tells her, some Christians can be rude too. Ivan sleeps in the body of an old car in Pastor's yard. He spends his evenings working on fixing an old bicycle, which is his pride and joy. One day when he is out, Preacher looks through Ivan's cubbyhole and sees things that lead him to believe Ivan is not the Christian he claims to be. He is, in fact, a rude boy.
By the rivers of Babylon, where he sat down, and there he went.
Half a pound guns don't hurt you.
She must wipe her eye. Papa says she not be foolish like she never been to school at all. It is no wonder.
Ivan needs to practice the song for his recording session. He asks Elsa to give him the key to the church hall, telling her it's time to choose between Preacher and him. Preacher bursts in on Ivan and throws him out of his house. He confronts Elsa in a rage.
What else do you give to him? You've been fornicating with him.
No!
You gave him your lips. You gave him your
No!
You gave him your butt. And
No!
Meanwhile, Ivan goes back to the workshop to get his bike. Longa is waiting for him. Ivan tells Longa he is here for his bike. Longa tells him that Preacher gave the bike. A violent fight breaks out. Longa armed with a broken bottle and Ivan with a ratchet knife. Ivan slashes Longa's face repeatedly.
You have had every chance to make good. You've been taken into the church and given a chance to lead a good Christian life. And instead of that, you've gone and filled your head with foolishness and violence. Since this is your first offense, I'm not going to send you to jail. 8 strokes of the tampon switch.
So as sure as the sun will shine.
Sometime after his ordeal, Ivan checks into Hilton's studio to record his song. Hilton likes it and tells Ivan to sign a contract, selling him the song for $20. Ivan says he won't do it. Hilton wishes him luck, but warns him, I own the music business in this town.
The harder they'll fall, one and all.
Seeking to sell his record, Ivan is turned down by every DJ, record store, and even the king of Jamaican music himself, Princebuster, because of Hilton's control. Eventually, Ivan has to swallow his pride and take the $20.
And remember that I control this business.
And I order all you rude boys to stand.
Detective Ray Jones controls the ganja trade in Kingston. The army, while carrying out a raid, shot one of his couriers, a Rasta woman, dead in Trenchtown. Jones is angry and calls the commissioner, but his big problem is he needs another courier. Hilton has agreed to release Ivan's record. Convinced he is going to be a big hit, Ivan gets ready to go to the disco. Elsa comes home exhausted. They fight. Elsa mocks Ivan's dreams, and Ivan mocks Elsa's God. Ivan sets off alone.
Sit tight and listen keenly while I play for you a brand new musical biscuit by the man called Ivan.
Unbeknownst to Ivan, Jose is a henchman in Detective Jones's drug gang. Jose asks Ivan if he is ready to make some real money for a change.
Get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir, so that every mouth.
Ivan goes to work as a drug courier. He doesn't tell Elsa about his changing career. It is a happy time for Ivan and Elsa. They move to Pedro's village, where Elsa becomes very attached to Rupert, Pedro's son, who is very sick. Elsa takes care of him. Ivan is a valuable worker in the drug ring, but as he starts to see how little money he gets and how much is passed on, he starts to ask some pointed questions.
I can't get no better from you because you done dead already.
Disgruntled with his lowly status and impetuous with greed, Ivan suggests to Jose they go into business together. Jose plays it cool. Jose decides Ivan is getting a little too big for his boots. He puts in a call to the man. Ivan needs to be bought in, dead or alive. Soon they are pursuing Ivan along a lonely country road at terrific speed. During his brutal treatment in prison, Ivan determines to fight for freedom. He draws his gun. Ivan rode off and left the young policeman for dead.
I want to do the reggae, girl, with you. Yeah, come on.
Ivan made his way back to Elsa. Excitedly, he asks her, has she heard anything on the radio? What have you done, Ivan? She asks. He tells her he has become famous like he said he would, and to get Pedro to meet him, with money and more bullets. Looking for Jose, Ivan encounters the girl who set him up for the cops. Once again, Ivan's pistol sings its terrible song of death. The next morning, Ivan discovers he has found the fame he always wanted. He is Two-Gun Ivan, Kingston's toughest rude boy.
Jose, you looking for me?
It is you. Oh, yeah.
As Ivan's legend grows on the streets of Kingston, Hilton decides it's time to push Ivan's records.
And they think that they have got the battle won. I say forgive them, Lord, they know not what they've done. 'Cause as sure as the sun will shine. Rudeness and gun is the talk of this town. The gun fever is bad. The gun fever.
Ivan lives the high life as a celebrity in Kingston, while Jones sends the army into the Rasta camp. The police hunt high and low for Ivan, to no avail. Detective Jones hatches a new plan. If he makes the police cut off the local drug trade instead of protecting it, the drug dealers will hunt Ivan down just to restore the peace. Ivan sticks up a local photographer and makes him take and print several publicity photos. He sends the best one to the editor of The Gleaner. Detective Jones tries to stop it being published, but the editor refuses him. Hilton meets up with Detective Jones. Hilton complains Jones has banned Ivan's record and warns him, no top 40 and no ganja, and Jones is sitting on a powder keg in this neighborhood. Eventually, Jones's strategy worked. A stoolie ratted Ivan out and told Jones where the bad man was hiding out. The army descended on the camp, but Ivan shot his way out, but he was wounded badly in the shoulder. Jones's shutting down the drug trade also cuts off the money to the Rasta camp. Soon the Rastas are starving. And this, combined with the fact that they can't afford medicine, means Pedro's son Rupert becomes very ill.
Sinners, where you gonna run? Where you gonna hide?
Elsa returns to Preacher and tells him Ivan is planning to catch a boat to Cuba the next morning. Preacher informs Jones, who has just been arguing with Jose, that he expects the drug dealers to turn Ivan in. Jones prepares a trap for Ivan.
Every day carrying bucket to the well. One day the bucket bottom must drop out. Everything crashed, Lord. Whoa.
Ivan waits by his shack on the beach to spot the freighter that will take him to Cuba. He sees it and in a superhuman effort swims out to it. but his injured shoulder slows him down and he can't grab the ladder. By some miracle, he makes it back to the beach. Pedro cannot withstand Jones' brutal beatings for long. After a couple of hours, he breaks down and tells Jones where Ivan is. A boatload of troops are dispatched. The soldiers march toward Ivan. He shoots one of them down and taunts them. Send out one bad man! Send out one bad man who can draw! All the time, through his mind, he hears, the hero can't die until the last reel. Ivan's guns are empty, but he walks out of the clearing to confront the troops. Draw! He shouts. The machine guns reply. The bad man Ivan falls, feeling for the last time the sweet Jamaican sunshine on his face.
Well, the oppressors are trying to keep me down, trying to drive me underground, and they think that they have got the battle won. I say for